A little behind the scenes for you. We've just taken some photos, put some extra worms in there, a few dried chips on the top just to make it look pretty. But I'm loving this stuff. This is kind of what I think Mexican food is all about, sort of playfulness in Mexican food, a fun sort of levity to everything they do, which is really great. Crazy Doritos or Dorilocos. I love Mexico. One of the things you'll notice when you get to Mexico is just the fun that people have with the food over there. And I think it's one of the reasons they came up with something as mad as Dorilocos. Basically, you're taking Doritos. You'll see actually store vendors in the city over there and they'll have their Doritos hang up. Don't be afraid to go across and ask for Dorilocos. Heaps of fun, and just see what they come up with. There are so many different variations. So today I'm going to do my version of Dorilocos. You can see what you think, come up with some other ideas, watch some videos on YouTube, see how they create them on the streets, and just have fun. What can you expect? Well, I can tell you, not just a plain old bag of Doritos. First thing they're going to do is either nip the top off of the bag. Most of them just nip the corners off, one on each side like that. Then you just take a pair of scissors or a blade and just cut across the top. And this is what they're going to use to serve the Dorilocos in. And this is where it starts getting crazy. Different vendors use different things. They almost all start off with a sort of grated carrot. Actually, you want heaps and heaps of carrot. And a version of what is a little bit like a Swede or a rutabaga, or even just grated cabbage will work. We want to season that with a little smoked paprika or some chili powder, maybe a little bit of salt in there as well, a little bit of hot sauce as well. The guy in Mexico City we used to go to had this sort of Maggi seasoning, which I thought was quite nice. I'm going to put some Maggi in there. This is a sort of salty brown seasoning. Yes, Worcester sauce. Now I think in Mexico they call this something like sauce d'anglaise. I can't remember exactly. Comment down below and let me know. A little bit of Worcester sauce in there. Sweetcorn. I've fried this up with a little bit of sweetener in there, some chili powders and some butter. But look at this. How gorgeous does that look? So we've got plenty of corn in there. You really can't do this without peanuts. They tend to have the fried peanuts and they also have chili on them, but I'm just going with regular salted peanuts. Going to add a few spoonfuls in. I'm just going to take a lime or limon, squeeze the juice over the Dorilocos. Top the whole thing off with grated cheese. Some of the more quirky vendors on the streets will actually top these up with gummy bears and gummy worms, all sorts of crazy things, so I'm going to go with that. We've got some sour snakes, we've got some jelly snakes. I'm going to put those over the top of my Dorilocos. Always served with a plastic fork. This is almost like a family meal. It's super heavy. I'm sure the bags that we had in Mexico City weren't as big as we have here in Australia. Get your fork, and you've just got to try and get in here basically. Let me see if I can get a Dorito. We've got a gummy worm there as well. God, this is a lot of fun. Here goes. Man, wow, that is hot and spicy. I didn't even put the jalapenos in that I was going to put in. This is really just a dish that you mess with. I know it looks crazy, it actually tastes delicious. That takes me right back to when I first had this in Mexico City. Lots of fun. Share some comments down below. If you've had these before, let me know what they put into your Dorilocos wherever you were. And if you haven't had them, don't be shy. Give it a try. It's not that bad actually. Be good. And we'll see you for some more Mexican fun in Steve's Kitchen very shortly. Take care. Now, a lot of you I know probably won't try this because it is Dorilocos. But if you do, you're going to have some fun. It's really spicy. The cheese sort of balances it off, a little bit of cheese, but overall, really spicy. I put a little extra hot sauce in there. And I've added some jalapenos, which I didn't do in the video just now. So I think that's just kind of lifted up that hot element. It's kind of difficult to get the chips from the bottom without breaking your plastic fork. Maybe you should get your hand in there and sort of dig them out. I don't know. But certainly when they serve this on the streets of Mexico City, even in Oaxaca, they only give you a plastic fork. Now this rutabaga or swede is really lovely. There's a Mexican name for this, and I forget the exact name for it, but you can check that. Maybe I'll put it on the descriptions or on the screen. Now it's not a breakfast meal, not really even a meal, but I am going to tuck in and completely finish this. Be good, everybody. Take care. See you again soon. I'm not sure about the gummy bears or the gummy snakes. I love gummy snakes, but with all that chili, a little bit strange. Oh, hot gummy snakes. Nom nom. A little behind the scenes for you.